What's up, guys? How we doing? I'm not sure how many of us are able to join, but we will record this Browns Ravens offensive film review. Hope your Monday night is good, or whenever you're finding this Tuesday, whenever that might be. We have some good stuff in this offensive breakdown. So let's go through it. We got an hour of film, which we will try to get through with only one angle of some of these, so we don't spend too much time. And also, we broke down some plays on social today. We broke down some plays in film rooms on the website. So check that out. All right, first play, little run concept left side. Let's watch it from the best view in the house, right behind the offense. This is just duo. I am interested schematically why this duo they're running here doesn't focus on this front side backer. Usually you're leaving, if it is duo, truly duo, you're leaving this Mike to read. Any concept where neither of your double teams get to the linebackers through here, I don't think is the best outcome you're going to get. So I'm not sure on this one. You know, Nick being Nick still pushes forward, ends up getting 4 yards, which is nice. But as you can see here, you're really trying to isolate if it's more of this look here where you're down working double teams here and climbing to 14 and we're reading Roquan here, right? We're kind of rooting this out maybe, or whatever the concept is. You're usually reading. It's like running power concept without pulling the backside guard on duo. So this is a little different. It could just be inside zone though, split zone, right? Could just be split zone, which is traditional stuff. And with a tight end that is working back across the field. So if this is split zone, you are usually seeing somebody picking up linebacker here. So these two are working for 23, and these two should be working for wherever Roquan passes through. So if you're climbing over, working to here, passing it off, it's just not. Maybe there's a coaching point this week. We just want to move double teams at the point of attack, or it's as simple as this. Football so detailed. We were going like 5 minutes on the first play. 92 here, which I believe to be Matabike, is holding. Looks like that is Teller, so that Teller can't come off and get to Roquan. Right? There could be a little bit of that. Could be a little bit of that with Pierce right here. The only thing about this, I feel like these guys have eyes on right here for this, whereas Posick and Batonio do not have eyes and are not paying attention to Trenton Simpson. I'm not sure, but I do know that this is a little abnormal to have two linebackers be untouched on any given run play. So, could be a problem. Maybe they're saying we need to really just get him out of the way and we'll deal with the fallout of dealing with Simpson because Michael Pierce is a tough dude. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's the result. You get, I think, 2-3 yards, 2nd and 7 on this one. This is a play action, right? So watch the offensive line. They are going to pass set. The only thing selling run is this mesh point between quarterback and running back. So up front, pass set. Backfield, play action. Look at the impact it has on the initial read of the linebackers, right? You can also tell they're going to play man coverage on this as well. So we know we got man. So let's try to rip one in the middle here. This is what the Browns like to run. This is a little less predictable, although you are getting some indicators here and here that you're going to get man, but usually don't get man against bigger personnel settings like 12 personnel under center, but you go man because you got it, right? So you get a free safety who's reading middle, and then you get a low hole linebacker who is reading quarterback eyes to try to jump routes around him. Simpson right here has Nick Chubb, so that's his matchup. We got this on Swaim, right? It's all laid out in front of you. So now it's just about, can we make a throw? Can we protect it well enough? And can we make a throw? Which, as you can see, made a nice throw. Let's see it from behind. Good view, right? Good protection up front. Conklin a little off balance, kind of working out to the right, but does a good job recovering and pushing him up the line. Swaim does a great job right here, making DeJuan Jones' life really easy. Batonio against Michael Pierce. Again, a really big bowling ball of a human being. Pretty good, right? Clean pocket. 2 good options here. Look at Jerry Jeudy's end breaker. Pretty open, right? But also NFL open and Njoku's open. You got 2 of them. So it'd be right here if he didn't like this. And then this is Jameis just saying, hey, I'm gonna I'm going to throw this over him. I'm going to make a throw. I'm going to make an anticipatory throw and drive this thing in that window. If he did not like this, the pocket is clean enough that he could step up, recalibrate, and drive the football to Judy off his break too. So those are two options. This is a fantastic throw and a fantastic catch. And it's really nice to say those when doing film rooms again, right? The make comments about the really good throws like this and the really great catches. Good confidence boost, good effort. Back to 11 personnel, 3 wideouts, tight end Swaim down here at the bottom of the screen. We get some short motion. And you might say, hey, Jake, well, what's the deal here? How come he's not set, right? Well, it doesn't matter if he's set because they didn't go early, right? Everybody's been set for a full second, so this isn't an illegal shift. If he doesn't come set in the slot right there, he can be shuffling and moving, right? Hey-o, got to get your head around, or at least can we get a call from here? Can we get this guy, and maybe he does, making what we used to call a rat call. It was a way of indicating entering the kitchen. Make a rat call that tells the quarterback a corner blitz is coming. You better speed your process up, which it looks like to me Jameis did get that call from somebody to indicate here that a corner was going to be coming. I think that's actually Kyle Hamilton, I think, because they love to blitz that son of a gun. He does a pretty good job of almost getting this out, and it hits Nick kind of like right in the arm. If they got this out, there's a chance, and you're making a big play. Good call, right time. Just got to get that football out a little quicker. Maybe if Jameis was opening to it, not away from it, right? See how his back is turned to it? Maybe if he the reverse pivot out here, he sees it a little quicker. Not sure, but they don't miss it by much. Just gets Nick just doesn't have his head around and see it quite in time. But you can see those are emojis. You can see the vision right here where this could have come together pretty nicely. So good call, just right call by the Ravens defense at the right time, and you narrowly kind of miss the execution of that screen pass coming together. Now second down, back to 12 personnel. So you got your 2 tight ends down here, right? 2 wide receivers to the field. We're going to run pen pulls. We're going to pull the center guard to the front side, and a pretty good run by 24. Not bad defense in all reality. Let's watch it from the best view in the house. So we're going to pull the center guard, and these are good blocking angles here. We shouldn't have any issue. This is the tough one. He's got to work his butt off to cut this off, but we're going here, right? We're going to try to get this. I think we're going to try to get that. I'm not sure. We'll see how they go about it, trying to gap down. They ask David, and then they're going to loop Akins around. Okay, so they're going to loop here. They're going to ask David to get around, cut this off, gap down, scoop this, pull for this, right? In this, we're going to pull 2 for 1. It's not an easy scheme. It's really not an easy scheme, this pen pull right here. And 2 people don't get the job done that allows us to get out and around it. The one that's most disappointing here is Dewan. He's already got the angle. So it's all about getting yourself in position to not be beat to the run side. He steps down with his head. Look where his head is. Up in the air, doesn't get his body in the position it needs to get in, and then allows his man to get free. And actually, if you guys are seeing it like I am, right here, this hand on, he needed to be called for holding. So this happens. Wyatt doesn't get his man. Again, Michael Pierce, who's like a 330-pound short interior madman running down the line. If we could get this block, get that block, you got a chance. That's the 2 things that matter most, because Batonio's up and through. But Nick does a great job and, does what Nick does. And at the moment of making a cut here, no business gaining any more than 1 yard. But, what does he do? He turns it into 5-yard gain, again, when there's no business in doing that. So, again, not the easiest scheme to run, but if you want to be diverse in the run game, especially from the gun, then you better be a tough SOB and finish those blocks, right? So we're going to go empty to start, which again, let's get everybody set. Notice how everybody has to get set for a second. You could get a little picky with Njoku right there, but it only matters if they snap Pierre Strong, if he's on the move. He is not. Now, I don't know if you guys are loyal readers of the newsletter that you're going to start getting every morning, started this morning. I do notice that the Browns are giving Jameis Winston some ability to make some checks that are not typical checks at the line of scrimmage, not your typical can and rewind for 2 plays in the huddle. But hey, you see something, check into it, get us in a better play. This signal he's giving here, which you will see, he gives it. Judy passes it along. Everybody's on the same page. They're going to run some variation of a screen or route concept, right? Not every one of these has to be a screen, right? We got the look we want for this route concept. Let's run it. So let's talk about what route concept they go to. This is dagger with a stick underneath, right? So we're going to run 3-man dagger. So what this means is you're going to get, and really the reason they probably check into this, from my assumption, is that they know based on where Roquan is and what they're doing coverage wise, we know that if we run this stick, we're going to have an easy option. We also have, in case somebody jumps it, if we get a player here jumping it, we have this player ready to clear out the safety right here. And then we have, as a part of dagger, an in breaker to fill that void. And it's a thing of beauty to take advantage of coverage looks. But hey, if this is so easy as just to punch out and throw that on third down, shoot, 3rd and 5s are easy. 3rd and 5s are really easy this way. So good stuff overall. I like the check. They got the, so what they, here's what they're doing. Let me slow myself down so you guys understand. What they're trying to do is identify first, is it man or is it zone? If it's man, we're going to do this. If it's zone, we're going to do that. Well, since 21, who is a cornerback, is outside, this gives us a zone indicator. Because usually if it's man coverage, they would take a more athletic either safety or corner in here for Njoku and have a linebacker out here for the running back. That's standard. Now, it's not 100% universal, but it's pretty standard to do it that way. So we get that. We get zone. We know what we're getting because, again, the nearest player to the slot wide receiver is a linebacker. So that gives us, again, a zone indicator. So now we're going to run a zone beater here, which is a 3-man concept. Pretty simple. There you go. Right? Even if you think it's man to the front side, it is not totally man. It could be split field coverage, but definitely think that they're running a form of late rotating cover 3, some man match principles to the 2-man side at the top. Nonetheless, doesn't matter. You really just are reading out leverage, and they do a great job of once I notice that he's in the back, right, tells us we're going to run zone. And from that, it's just as easy as processing where the hole in that zone will be, which is, again, pretty simple. Pass coverage is clean. Don't think the Ravens did a good enough job of creating chaos the Browns have not been dealing with well up front. Twist and exchange game. Did not think they did enough of that. But they were blitz heavy. They did a lot of that. Let's see again. Split zone here. The wide receiver ready to sell backside bootleg. Pretty popular. So we're going to try to pull a player out of the tackle box, see if we can get Nick to the second level. We get a nice gain. Let's see what happens up front on this. How the nice gain comes together. All right. You see zone up front from everybody more splitting to the backside to sell bootleg. He pulls 29 here out of the play. And hey, you got something here. This looks pretty good. The only spot that gives them trouble, as they have a nice crease here, is Conklin doesn't quite do enough to cut the backside off, and then Batonio loses his man back into the running lane. But again, this is a pretty dang good run on first down that's going to churn you out. Let's look at what the finished product is. 7 yards. We like 2nd and 3s. All right, so a couple people need to finish their block. Conklin needs to be more of a disruption to the path of 95 right here. And then Joel's got to get rid of that arm and be a little bit more proactive in cutting him off. But again, 6-7 yards first down, we'll take those just about every time. 12 personnel tight end motion across. So we're going to get play action. Jake, why do you call it play action? Because watch these guys. They're not selling run. They're dropping into pass sets. The play action happens here in the backfield. And I think Watson, this is not Watson. This is Winston. Too many last name W quarterbacks. Gets a little lucky here. It's a little lucky. So they're running a vertical with a stem corner underneath it. think we're going to get Njoku blocking here. Then we're going to get Swaim on an in-breaker off the backside, and I think the back releases as well. So that's what you're looking at. What your quarterback is reading is what's deep coverage. Well, if we know we have a creep here, we probably have a variation of cover 3, right? Is the most likely thing. And then it's like what you're reading is who's going to be the player, if we can't throw it over top, to play this area. That's the question, right? I think Njoku is going to check and then go to the flat. So what we're doing is reading Kyle Hamilton here. If he's the curl flat defender, middle hook to curl flat over here, right? Who's going to play the window to my two-man side? So in this scenario, Hamilton initially wheels out and stays shallow, but his eyes, if you watch Hamilton's eyes, he is watching Winston right here. Do you see his eyes looking inside? He is all eyes on Winston's eyes. And if you look at Winston's eyes, they are pretty deadlocked on Jerry Jeudy right here to see if Jeudy can beat this linebacker who may run with him and run underneath his route, because he's already processed what the safety is doing. The safety has come down to play the low hole. I know what's going on. It's cover 3. I have that idea already in mind, but I don't think Jameis ever sees this. He sees Jameis and he knows to run under this route right here. The best place, the most logical place to go with this football is the tight end. This is a dicey throw, and it could have very easily been intercepted. The tight end, based on how this young man Hamilton is playing, because at the top of the drop at the decision point, he is not eyes on you or eyes on Njoku. He is looking and hunting out who is going to break out. Is Tillman going to break out? Is Jeudy going to break out? He's ready for that. And this is why he's a really good football player. He's there. This ball should be intercepted. This is the answer. He fits this in, though, but barely, folks. Barely. So, again, looking at it, you see it from the quarterback's eyes and how close this is. And you can tell, he does not look over at Hamilton. He is just looking at when does Jeudy clear here so I can drive this to the corner right here. You can see if I do that one more time. I'm so sorry, guys. Hamilton is pretty much there. That's as close as it gets. It's a hell of a catch. I'll say that. Hell of a catch. But I think this is a pretty risky throw where I don't think the quarterback quite properly sees it. Pretty close. All right. Well, you live and you learn. You move on. 15-yard gain. Now we're back to, this is 11 personnel, so we got 3 wide receivers on the field. This is more duo. This is more downhill. And this is a bummer because this play was nicely done. Nicely done. This is duo again. Watch how it works. We duo up front unless somebody is a gap runner. So we're taking him. Wyatt, your hands, my brother, are too wide. You know who's watching those wide hands? This fella right here. He's watching it the entire time. Cannot have your hands that wide on these blocks. But again, we are double teaming point of attack. We are singled up here, and we're reading, if we can, this player here because we're looping inside and blocking Hamilton in theory. And if we press downhill, then Roquan's over the top, and then you have a chance at perhaps a cutback lane. If we go downhill and Roquan maybe settles into the A gap, maybe that's his run fit here, then we're bouncing it. Or, hey, also, if I see a pretty clear rushing lane, can also take that. Just beat him to the point of attack, which is what happens here. He doesn't even have to read Roquan because it's like, I see the lane, right? It's a nice game. It's an 8-yard gain. Problem is, Teller got wide hands. The ref sees those wide mitts, and I don't know that it's really a similar holding call to what the Bengals had called on them on that long Chase Brown run last week that JOK drew a flag. It's this right hand right here that is wrapped around his back that is going to get called, and you can see that jersey tug happening right here. Again, it's going to get called. Even though it looks like a pancake, Teller probably feels like he pancaked him. It's those hands, man. You can't have the hands wide. Teller is even just befuddled by that call. Look at him. But that's Yeah, he's saying, "Hey, man, I dump trucked him right there. Look, I did this." But he doesn't, 23's over here like, "Oh, man, he's grabbing my look at my shoulder pad. Look at him. He's pleading this case." We got two people in front of a judge pleading their case about this with the flag on the field. And this is just funny. It's actually pretty funny to see in real time. But again, here's the view from the other side where again, Teller, that's the coaching point that his coach will make is your hands can't be out here at any point. If your hands are like this, he sees it. It's getting called, my friend. It's just the breaks of the game. Bummer though, because it was a nice run. Now you're 1st and 20, which 1st and 20s are not fun. I do like that they were unfolding coverage this way. You'll see again when I slow it down. Watch. Hey, we're getting smarter. Who's out here on the running back? Oh, that's a corner. Who's out here on the wide side on Njoku? Oh, that's a corner. So I got everything telling me it's going to be zone. Now, the Ravens are smart enough that they can check into man. And you'll see these guys like between Roquan and some of these others, they're smart. They'll sell zone and then go back to man. So like watch 23. This is the third time. I am awful. Watch 23 right here. He's communicating. Roquan's communicating. Kyle's communicating. So don't be surprised that even though they show you man, and that would be like a coaching point for the week for them. Hey, we're going to go a bunch of zone looks before they motion or shift, and then get into man coverage after they think we're running zone. So let's see if they change. Somewhat. They are playing split coverage. So what they're doing to the backside, in my opinion, is they're running some variation of what's called Meg over here, where and there's smarter coverage people than me, but this is definitely split coverage. So what this means is to the boundary, it's man here and it's man. And you look at how their body language is. They're showing these two guys are man. Then you get half field help, and then you run quarters to the backside over here. So you're running quarters to the field where you have a curl flat player and you have a middle hook player right here to the 3-man side of empty. That's what I think is going on. That's what I think they're doing. If you look at how this feels, these, 4 over 2 right here, technically 3 if David releases. So we feel good about that. And then we feel good about 3 over 2 in a cone where we're obviously playing man coverage here. We got man coverage here with help here, right? We're playing outside shades. We'll take care of everything here. You jump anything inside. That's what they're doing. But I think the Browns do a really nice job here by Elijah Moore as they're running what the Browns love to run from this empty look where we get 2 chip players in this spot, and they just love to run stick curls, man. This is what we used to call it. So you're either 3rd and long. Let's max protect it for a second, chip the edges. Let's inside release and run a curl into the void and coverage. A little harder against that man look to that side. And then we're going to run a middle curl. So read it out, find the soft spot in the middle of maybe an open field coverage zone. And then you are going to try to sit inside the curl flat. And we're going to try to pick up a chunk with 3 equal curl routes. And to the credit of Elijah Moore here inside, once he clears Roquan and knows that his eyes are no longer on him, he just buttons it up right around there. And it's pretty damn easy. This is nicely done. Let's watch it from the end zone view. Right? Good chip here. DeWand has help. I'd rather leave 75 on an island. I don't mind these 2. Jack gets some help right here to slow his man down. This is all pretty good. It's blocked up well, pretty clean everywhere. Plenty of time. Okay, it looked like an offense, guys. Looks like an offense. Let's look at it from the defense view. This gives you a good idea of Elijah Moore down here at the bottom. Roquan turns his eyes away from him. And they throw it right in the void. Good stuff. 2nd and 3 now. This one's a bummer because they had a nice front side look to run this split zone. And I like this. I mean, I don't know exactly. They're definitely selling in an interesting way because this is 13 personnel. The Browns have not run much 13 where you have tight end, tight end, tight end. And they're selling, I believe this is Aiken, so they're selling him motion to the flat, and then we're splitting off of that split zone to the backside, and then we're zoning everything up front, right? I think they're just running zone with that split look, but it's good eye candy. 2 people going in different directions, right? I like it. but the result's not good, and we'll talk about why the result isn't very good. Wyatt Teller on the backside doesn't get the job done. So Teller's in a good position. If we're stepping play side, he's in a good position. His first step just stinks, and he gets beat across the face. He has everything he needs here to get across and cut this off. He has the positioning to make it happen. He just doesn't get out of his stance quick enough. And since he gets beat inside, when Swain goes to block his cut man, which would be here, he has to go around this situation, and nobody gets the backside and nobody cuts off this player. And as you see right here, that is why this play gets blown up, because this backside edge, he runs down the line. He should be cut right here. Swain should have cut him if he could have gotten to him. And then obviously we would be downhill. That is ridiculous. We would be downhill quicker, right? You guys can see the vision. Where does this hit? It hits right up here, but we can't run that alley because this player is a distraction to it, and he's cleaning us up no matter what right there. So, bummer. Again, close to having some of these run plays work. You see it right there. We should have this guy should be cut off, and Swaim should be able to cut 95 over here. You get those two blocks, you got a nice run. All right, so now we are 3rd and 5. Let's see what we can get. Oh, this is fun. This is fun. This is fun. This is fun for many reasons. For many reasons. So they start, and it kind of camera cuts in interesting timing. They start by putting the back in the backfield, motioning him into the wing right here, and then bringing Judy, who's in the slot, into the backfield. Okay, again, this was a newsletter special for you guys. I just love this small wrinkle to what you're doing, because it's a little confusing and disorienting for the defense to identify, and you also snap it pretty quick before the Ravens are really set and ready. And what you're doing is the quarterback is reading out this slant stick who's trying to set a pick for the running back to slide here. You know, you get connection between this player and this player in man coverage, because again, this looks like man. And if you can get him to run into you right here, and then you're sliding to the flat, this could be a nice little gain, right? So we're going to read the front side. On the back side, interestingly enough, we have, you know me, I love a good backside dig. And then you have this fun little wrinkle where we're going to slide to the flat with more, and then clear out coverage over here if there was a curl flat or zone. And then we're going to take a wide receiver in the backfield and hook him up and get our traditional high, low look that we like to get right here. So we're going to read all this out. This is the front side. Read it quick. And then this is our backside. So quarterback's eyes, boom, he's left. Eyes are looking here. Is it going to open up? Watch how quick he comes off this, because he can just sense it that this isn't going to work. Like, it's over. It doesn't work, but Jameis has already like come off it. He's like, this is too murky. I don't like the way this looks right here. I'm not throwing this. Let me get my eyes back to the right. Well, the Ravens are in man, right? With a low hole sitter right here, high hole sitter right here. And what happens? Well, Jameis's eyes going so hard left brings the linebacker down, Roquan here, reading his eyes, and that leaves a gigantic void for an in-breaker. And again, reminder, defenses don't mind in this one high look. They definitely don't mind giving up the middle because they think they have two players who can support the middle. But in this specific play, I think this is Jalen Armour Davis for them, who's been around their system for a while. He's playing inside, so you really have to win in a unique way to get where you need to go. And that little subtle right here, this little subtle move from Tillman with the outside foot, speed cut it, look how well he wins inside, and it all comes together for a really nice 3rd down pickup. It's a great view where the quarterback is looking initially over here, how he is reading quarterback eyes and is just going to sort of shift over that direction. Once he does, look at him, come back, quarterback, stay calm. No panic. Look at the reset, guys, right? We want to throw this now. So this is called now footwork. We used to call it punch, rock, throw. Punch the back foot, rock the ball to your shoulder and throw it. So that's punch footwork. But it's not open. Don't panic. Reset the eyes right. Reset the base with it and fire strike. That, pretty good quarterback play. I like it. Also, we do see the Ravens give you something that they don't give a lot of, which is something the Browns have struggled with, which is here in a loop. They do give you a loop. Let's see how they handle it up front. Teller gets ear hold, but Conklin does a good job. And look at the center. Center's kind of there too. He knows just enough. Conklin just gets that arm out enough right here to keep those guys bound together for a moment to give Winston enough of a window to throw it. Huge play. Here's a look from the defense's view. Get Winston's eyes. You know, we prefer Teller to not get destroyed on that play, right? But that delivery is great. Really strong all the way around. 1st and 10 now, down to the 13. Oh, man, we broke this down in great detail. I'm going to be hasty on this because literally there's a 10-minute video I made specifically for this play alone. All right, we're bootlegging off of this. Unfortunately, Tillman runs into his man, stopping him because he's kind of been doing this. They've been doing their zone concepts where they're taking this backside wing right here and blocking him, inserting him into the fold of the tackle box to block that overhang or outside backer, whatever presents itself. He's trying to do the same thing here and then release to the corner. Unfortunately, he's slow because he runs into Njoku right here. Moore, I think, is a little too fast on the intermediate. And then Njoku himself right here gets a little hung up before he gets out. And we have a really congested play off the bootleg right here. So we need better spacing. We need this player to be like out here because that takes the corner out here quicker. And then we have this open throw right here. Or we need more to be a little slower, a little more hesitation based and be kind of back here. Also, we need David to go. He needs to be going quicker. So it's not good from a process standpoint. Like, could this ball be thrown to David? Maybe. Right? You'd have to kind of put it over here and loft it up over this guy's head. And then you also have this threat of a corner. So it's definitely possible. But this also looks a little funky because these two guys are hanging at the time of maybe that decision. Do I even see him? I think when Jameis watches this on tape, he will see right here that he can throw this football and maybe you've gotten rid of it. But this congestion is never good. You can't have two guys on top of each other. And I think we hold on to it a little too long. But I wanted to break down for you, and what I covered it was this throw here that looks really stupid, and why did it happen the way it did? I think to get the best feel for that, you need to watch it from this angle. So watch what Jameis is trying to do when he punches out of here. Nobody around. I mean, it's just a massive situation where the edge player over here kind of drifts, and these two clumsy dudes trip over each other, and nobody from the backside keeps him bottled up. And what he's trying to do is once he realizes that this is a little congested, he notices his only throw is right here. So what he tries to do, watch him, is take his eyes over here to manipulate these two players. He thinks Elijah Moore is going to keep drifting. So he thinks if he can just manipulate these two players with his eyes right here, he can get those guys leaning back this direction. Watch his hips. Everything with his hips is pointing here, but the eyes are pointing here, thinking he can get this guy and this guy to move. And if Elijah just keeps drifting like he is, there it is. So watch what he does. He sells it, but the hips, the eyes are still here, still there, but the hips are going here. And watch where the ball is fired. He expected Moore to sit over here, and then it would be open, guys. It would be open. But what does Moore do? I mean, Moore's watching his eyes all the same, right? So Moore's like, at this point, notices where his quarterback is looking. Hey, he's looking inside. I need to shuffle back inside here. That's what he tries to do. It's just a rep thing. They need to know Jameis will do. And look at Jameis is pointing, like, draw your attention up here. He's pointing at him like, hey, man, keep going. And Moore talks to him. They're talking about it. You'll see, I'll rewind it now and show you this angle of the play because you can see now what the quarterback is looking at. So Nice job from Dewan kind of finishing his man right here, right? So now the quarterback is saying, all right, I see my answer. I got a vision. And this is risky. This is not like some superb decision to do this. I think it definitely carries risk, but we also see some really good quarterbacks do this in the league and send a bunch of praise their way. Hey, if I can get this guy to drift and him to just subtly move, I have this window right here that if he just stays on his course, I can put it into that window right there. And he's still, look at his head right here. And it moves these guys. Unfortunately, it just moves him with him, because if he didn't and he sat right here, you guys can see it. I mean, it's got a chance to be a touchdown if he's sitting right there, right? So that's it. That's why, people mock it on social media and they're mocking it on TV, but they don't see it. Watch Winston here go to tell him, hey man, keep going. And Moore is talking to him and he gets it. They're little hand communication stuff about it. So there you go. That's what happened on that play that looked really egregious. We're going to run a same side counter is the goal here. This might be same side power since we're pulling. It's actually a little different. They're pulling the tackle. Usually this is a guard pull, but we're pulling a tackle for this backer right here. Just a little variation wrinkle to what they traditionally do. And it's not awful, but I think it's a little passive up front. Instead of being vicious down blockers for the pull, it's a little more position based. It's not an RPO, I don't think. It kind of maybe could be an RPO decision. They could throw it up there, but it's not a true RPO. So they need to block a little more aggression, in my opinion, or this play will never quite go. Don't mind it. It's not bad. It's not a bad run from Nick, but a little too passive on a gap scheme here that I think requires a little bit more movement at the line of scrimmage is how I would say that. So second and actually might be 3rd and 7 now. It is 3rd and 7. So this is the play I also broke down in the newsletter and put into plain text about like, hey, Jameis is changing this entire play. He's not doing a can or a rewind. We saw the one earlier. He is definitely telling people he unfolds the coverage. So what I mean by unfolding the coverage is basic stuff here. You go up to the line and you say, hey, first call is dead. Don't even react to it. I'll have an activation color. Red 80 said go, right? And then you come back and you say everything and this before you get out there, it's a green is live. So then it's like, okay, red 80, and you can hard count the hell out of them and watch what it does to this player and this player. Oh, okay. It tells me 2 things. These 2 guys on the outside right here and right here are going to come. You even got a little point happening here. We know. It's obvious. So now I'm going to change it, right? You're going to make a hand signal happen. Watch Winston put his hands behind his hips right here. The hips are telling him we're going to run something. You'll see even like they weren't expecting this because watch David down here with his hands up like, oh, okay, we're changing the whole play. What are we doing? Nick is communicating the play out to them. He's getting it. He needs to shift outside. They're going to go through the whole ringer. This is not just a 2 play in the huddle from the same formation. Look, this is a complete change. He's telling Judy to get wider, right? He's telling, because what we have here is a double tunnel screen. You can throw this if you want to up inside on Judy, or you can, right? You can throw to the right side where we're leaking the tackle out and we're releasing a tunnel screen right here. The problem for me on this, which is I think the right call, given it's a 0 blitz 6-man pressure, is that we need this guy to be a mean son of a bitch in the slot right here and go block. And this needs to be more back to the quarterback and up inside. Like it needs to drive back. You can't stay wide, in my opinion, because I think it gives people a chance to bottle it up. Because if he's wider, like I would say if Tillman attacks this football more and then turns it up inside, he has a chance to make a play here. Whereas he kind of stops, hangs out around the outside, and then the tackle isn't even of help to you. He can't get out there in time. So I think the coaching point is coming back to the football more and then getting back up inside of your tackles, kick out block. So learning stuff here. Jameis is mad. Watch. I mean, he's upset. He wanted to call that play that was going to work. And I like it though. I really do think that process is a lot better. Good communication from everyone. Nice job. Conklin gets out, just needs to be better executed. No, they'll get better with it. I do think that there's a chance that could be a good play for them and they can make some adjustment plays off of it. Now, finally, to the second quarter. This is a great run. Let's watch it from the tight view. Again, this is a double trap. They call this like wham. So what we're doing is we're sending a trap to the 0. We're going to let him upfield. Tight end's going to kick him out. I think we're going to hinge the backside. I think that's the plan. Climb here and then work off of this as well. But things go a little sideways because this back block should not be happening on 92 from the center. The center should be climbing right here. We should be, like I said, here, climbing to the linebacker right here. And then this tight end should be down blocking right here. So this guy and this guy are taken care of from pullers, but the center blocks back because he is so aggressive that it changes the entire scope of the play. Watch how he can't get to the guy at linebacker he wants to get to, so he has to block here. And then Swaim is confused because Swaim is supposed to be blocking this man. He's like, what the hell's going on? He's got my man. What do I do? Watch Nick read it, though. Like, this is so good, and why I think Nick is not far away from being the guy that we already remember, right? Like, watch him right here, right? Boom. Set it up, and then kudos to Swaim for realizing it and then turning and getting here. But this is set up by Nick's jump cut and his ability to process that he could get a block and then cut back inside of it and turn this run into 16, 17 yards. That's just a really special read from the running back. And I'll give Swaim credit too for like, oh, I was supposed to block here, but I'll adjust real quick outside and make this happen. Watch here. And then he goes, oh, okay, that 23 needs blocked. Boom. Good job from everybody, and especially great job from Nick. A hell of a run and a hell of a read. Pretty simple concept here out of 12 personnel. Right, we're just going to run stick spacing. So we have on the backside stick here. We're gonna kind of wide release and then hook up. Same thing going on over here. Stick with the speed out. We're just trying to get a horizontal stretch on the underneath coverage of whatever they're running, and they do a good job of processing this. The back is the last man out. Right, they're going to run that safety down in cover 3 here. So let's just throw off of him, and that's an easy 6-yard gain. Quarterback football out quickly. There you go. I think, is that a double catch from Tillman? I don't think he caught that clean. No, I don't think he did. Maybe we see it a little better from this view. Let's see if he bobbles. Oh, I actually got punched. That's interesting. So this football is caught, hand gets knocked on it, and he recovers before it goes out of his hands. That would have been called incomplete. So nice play. 2nd and 4 now. So we're going to go back to one side. We're going to flip the back. We have a slot rush, and this is just, you gotta, Hamilton's dangerous. He reads what's coming because, man, if they get this football out, and maybe this is like lofting it instead of trying to throw a dart, because you have good numbers when the slot player blitzes. You have really good numbers on this play. If this football reaches the hands of 85, you guys can see it the same way I can. You got to block here. If everyone does their job, got a chance. It's got a chance. I like the concept. I like calling it at that time. It worked out. Just got to hit these. Can't let it get tipped down. You got to do whatever you got to do. Pump fake to get him in the air and throw around him. Whatever you got to do. It's got to get out there. 3rd and 4 now. This one's a bummer because they have a nice play here. So it's a two-man. It's 2 side options. You got zone beaters to this side at the bottom of the screen. So you're going to get stick to beat this. And then if you have off corner, you can throw the out. The reason we don't go that way is because 53, I think that's Kyle Vanoy, punches out into underneath coverage and takes that away. On the backside, let's read out what they're doing on the backside, because Winston reads out the front. He reads out that this is covered up. This is coned up. We can't really throw it. So we need to throw backside. We're going to get a dig over the top, and then from this, we're going to get a curl back behind in this window with a back release to give us an opportunity to throw into an open void. And boy, do we get one. Good job by Jameis working backside. He just kind of hangs on to that dig a little too long, because right behind it, Elijah Moore did a nice job of breaking open on the curl. We just don't get to it quick enough. You'll see here, he does read it out front side. Do I like it? He doesn't like it. He's sitting on David. Don't like it. Now let me find my next man. Let's find the dig. Let's see if we can get to that. Doesn't get it. He's trying to find the curl now. Can't seem to find it. He has it right here. His eyes are definitely good to find this void right here. He, for some reason, tries to come back middle, maybe because is that 39 or 29 is jumping and he thinks he can throw this. Not totally sure, but maybe my eyes are just deceiving me, because he definitely is throwing this. If you watch his hips and where he's throwing, he is throwing this to the curl. Maybe we'll see better from the other view. It does get knocked down. Quarterback. Okay, so we're going right side. Look middle. Yeah, he's throwing the curl. He's coming back to the Crows. He's just a little late on it, I think. I think that ball could be out right now. A little late, and from being a little late, you kind of allow those guys to get into position to knock that football down. Dewan has to do a better job of staying vertical here. He leans too much, and when you lean, his arm gets pulled forward, and then ultimately he gets beat. So that is a beat on the grade chart because his man does get around him clean. But they could have converted that. They had an opportunity to convert that. So, and that's what I want. I want them to have opportunities to convert some of these plays. Like, I don't want non-answers. I want plays to be able to be made. And I think Jameis was a beat too slow on that one. So we're getting a run look, right? Pretty heavy run look on this play. 12 personnel under center, fly motion. They love to run off of this. So I love this play call for the fact that this looks a lot like run. This motion tells me run, but we're not actually going to run it. We're going to turn him up the sideline, run a comeback off of this, see if we can get that one-on-one route we really like. Probably going to get a deep over on the backside as an option. Just like watch the second level reacting to the run in the backfield. Right? This is good. This is really good. This is what we want. And that's a hell of a route by the receiver to the field side. Watch how quick and fast, like burst uphill you get from Moore there. It's just like, that's the version you want of him. Boom, out of the break, ball's out already in his hands. Easy 16, 17-yard gain. Watch the linebackers react to the running back. They are of no consequence to the pass game here. Doesn't get any easier than that, guys. In rhythm, on time, accurate, great route. I feel like I'm watching a different football team. We're in the gun. It's very condensed formation, but it is 11 personnel. That's Njoku, Tillman, Moore, Judy. Let's see what we get on 1st and 10. Just a straight drop. They have it. They have what they want. God, the Ravens played so much man coverage, and they played it from a variety of looks. Safety comes down late for Njoku. It's just cover one, middle sitter. He just misses it. And this is a little bit of a foreshadowing for later. Right here, right, punching out. Roquan is eyes on Chubb, actually. So this is a 5-man. So they're playing just deep cover one. There is no underneath because Roquan is eyeing Nick. He's here, and then we have a additional 5th rusher. So this is a 5-man. And the only person that gets beat is Teller. Teller does get beat on the right guard side. Everybody else is in really good position. Right? The guard doesn't get beat. Maybe the hurry up in that decision and the accuracy isn't bad, but he just misses it high because he's open. And I think maybe you're trying to pull that down over what you know is in breaking right here. It's a bummer they didn't get to Tillman because Tillman's pretty open too. I mean, they had options. It's not a bad choice. I mean, at this point, like, Moore is open. We got to give him a chance. Now, if something gets called here, I think they call hands to the face up near the line of scrimmage, actually. Cannot recall. Yeah, they do. I think they call Pierce for hands to the face there on Posick is what is ultimately called. So 1st and 10, you picked up 5 yards, 12 personnel, going to reverse pivot out, center pull. Let's see what we got. Center guard pull. So we're running pin pull from under center now with some movement into the look we want to be. So we get a kick out from Batonio. The problem is DeWand again. He cannot let this player win across his face to the run side. He's already in the perfect alignment to use his massive frame and keep this player from winning in that direction. He has a bad step. Watch his right foot puts him in bad position. He loses his man. He once again gets away with a hold right there. That's a hold. I'm not picking on the guy, but that is a clear hold. Luckily, Nick hits that little stutter move right there. You see that little stutter move to kind of slow everybody down, let everybody get in position, and he turns this into an 8-yard run because the left tackle doesn't help him. And Conklin's got a tough job of trying to get to Roquan, and he does a great job, actually. Conklin, you can see the top of his helmet. You'll see it better from the other view. It does a pretty good job. Everybody else, the 2 tight ends are doing their job, so pretty good. Just got to get the left tackle to get 96 secured. You get 96 secured and you create this tunnel to run through, you can see how this becomes a pretty good concept. Could have worked. But again, it went for 8 yards, so it technically did work. 2nd and 2. right? We're just going to fly them across in motion. We're just going to insert and we're going to pull the backside guard for the play side inside backer. This is just gun power. That's a thing of beauty. Look at that. Down. I think this is a little example. I need Dewan to just be a more physical player at the point of attack. I mean, that's a hell of a block from Teller. Boom. Drive him out. I mean, ooh. Teller wasn't his best form in this game, but boy, that's a fun block. Boom. It's good. That's a pretty good finish. All right. We're running it well. Back-to-back runs of 8 yards. Let's go back to the run game. Now we're really cooking now, man. Look at these run lanes that are being created off of these motions. I love these motions we're using. We're going to get a first fly motion, then we're going to get a second tight end and split movement after the snap. So we got people moving everywhere, and look at the run lanes that it creates from all these moving parts. And Njoku's in a great spot, and Batonio's in a great spot. And watch this initial double team from Batonio and Posick here on the middle of your screen, right? So this shade player here you think is maybe going to go here. He steps to the backside, so that allows the guard and center to drive him into the oblivion. Watch this. Boom, boom, post up, and then finish it. It's going to be even more fun from the other view, but we're talking like 3 straight chunk runs. Watch 96 just get absolutely displaced and put on the ground. And Batonio is not only doing that, putting him on the ground, then finding Roquan, dealing with hands to the face, and finishing that block as well. Now, Judy needs to be tougher. Hey, man, you want to mix it up in the NFL, get in there and block 3. But that's the fun stuff. Got to be able to finish this drive, though, right? 2nd and 3, 3 straight runs, 3 straight big runs. This is a bit of a schematic problem, and I think the Ravens started to turn to this. There is nobody for the corner. So if he comes up and fills the hole, we have no answer for that. Everything else is blocked pretty well, except we need the corner to be accounted for, or we need to be able to make a miss. We can't make a miss, and he's the one who makes the tackle, right? You need to do is do a little bit of this. I'm telling you, they got to get to this right here. If they play a man-heavy team, mark my words. I don't know how many of you are still paying attention. We're an hour into this, and we're not even 20 minutes in to this film. But take this player here, sell this run, and get these guys sneaking in here playing cover 1, and then release them. That's what I'm doing. Just we'll come back to that if it works out later on. This is a heavy shotgun run look. Take David here. You got a safety down. You got a corner down. You got a linebacker playing. Just release him. See what happens. I would like that. Let's take advantage of corners who want to creep inside. Now, 3rd and 4 turns into 3rd and 9. DeJuan Jones jumps a little bit. Holy cow, we are like an hour in, and I'm still on 20 minutes of film. This is rough. Sorry, guys. I can talk forever. All right, so we're on 3rd and 9. And boy, it doesn't get any easier than that. Ravens showing a heavy blitz look. They're punching out. They're playing cover 3 to me, wheeling out middle. Yeah, it's cover 3. Trying to cut number 2, and just like the corner to the top of the field breaks, it sort of allows that in breaker to happen, and there's nobody there to support him, and that's a really easy 3rd down conversion. Take it. How we look up front, we get any twist or exchanges. We do get a twist off that side. Oh, that's not bad. We do have DeJuan who needs to take care of the immediate, though. So DeJuan doesn't take care of the immediate. He should have eyes here inside for this, and then this player can just run the wide loop. We don't care about that. We don't want to turn 92 free to our quarterback. Fortune is on our favor here as the football came out quick. 1st and 10, little swing pass. I like it to a 3-by-1 side. It turns into 4 over 3, though, and you are outnumbered. So you do just need to get upfield quick and try to get some good blocks and see if you can spring it open, which they don't, unfortunately, get what they need on that. I am going to pick up the tempo a little bit here, guys. This has been pretty lengthy already. So, again, we're going to talk about the right tackle. This is a run on 2nd and 7 now. This is just wide zone. Maybe tight zone because we're splitting opposite. It should be tight zone. Let me show you guys why. Watch the left tackle. So this is just split, and everybody's doing their job. Here, double teams, and we're ready to climb here, and we're ready to climb here, and we're scooping this out here, and everything is where we want it. We even have a backside guy for this down the line. This block has to take place, though. You have to get that inside arm in there and ride him and dig him out of this. If you don't, this is what happens, and why this play will be DOA if you get hit with a quick swim move, because watch who makes the play. Watch who takes us away from the ability to find that hole right there. Do you see that hole right there? Look at that hole behind Wyatt Teller. That's a touchdown. Or, I mean, it's hard to say 24 doesn't turn those into touchdowns. We cannot let the end makes us bounce it outside. We have nobody for this player, this DB who sneaks down in here. We do right here have no issue with him, but if we bounce it, it's a problem. And then you have Judy who's blocking for an inside cut, is trying to block his man, and that's just, there's nothing you can do. That play's not designed to be bounced. But 79, DeJuan Jones right here, you cannot let you get swim moved into oblivion right here. So the run game stuff from him was sloppy. It's just not good enough. It's not, I mean, I can't sit here and tell you guys it was some gigantic upgrade to what Jedrick Wills has done. Being honest with you. Is it better effort? Sure. But at times, yeah, but not an immensely better performance than what Jed has had at times this year. Again, more man coverage. We're looking at 12 personnel, 2 tight ends. We're going to bring Tillman, bring him in that high motion, see if we can get a horizontal stretch to the right side. He wants to maybe find David, can't, but he identifies man coverage and then processes. He has an outbreaker from Akins. You just got to put it on him. Like I said with Winston, it wasn't a perfect day, right? He missed some throws. This is open. If you give him a chance, I mean, it's you want to be the person who says you get your hands on the ball, you got to catch it. That's fine, but that's high. It's tough. Opens up a window for mistakes. So you don't score there. You go up 6-3 at that point, and now we're late in the first half. Try to run a little quick draw to Chubb here. It's got a chance. It's got a real chance. I just don't know if like DeJuan is good on his. I mean, because in theory, like Nick gets turned around. Like I've never seen Nick get turned around. That tells you how just physically big DeJuan is. But I think what they try to do here is get this player to be higher upfield, and then what you will see, and Jed does this pretty well sometimes. I know it's crazy to say. You take this inside arm and you club him upfield to create this alley right here so that you can block Joel, scoop this out, and get outside. The Browns have run this many times in the past. You can see what they're doing. We got body here. Roquan's not going to be a problem because we're going to run this up inside and then loop it. They've done this so well in the past. The problem is I think DeJuan doesn't do a good enough job taking his inside arm right here and blowing him past the play, because that's what we want to encourage him, is to be past the play. Nick does a good job of just being the guy who can turn -4s into 1s or 0s. So he does a good job kind of getting back, but it's not often you see Nick get hit by run into his own man and get totally turned around and discombobulated. Like that's not where you want your run play to be going, right? Backward. So not an ideal spot. They 2nd and 10 now, do what they did earlier, right? We're going to put these guys out wide, and then we're going to motion them in and see if they're playing man or zone. I got a bunch of zone indicators, and then unfortunately the right guard flinches. So now it becomes, as you'll see, the right guard flinch. 2nd and 15 at this point, and this is the play that I think cripples them. No, actually, this is one that should have gone for some success. You're getting chip release on both sides. Again, nothing new. David's going to flat side. I'm not sure if you're going to get Pierre sliding out, but you probably are. They're just going to go back to that curl, the 3 curl look with openings. And again, Elijah Moore is open. Jameis punches out and tries to throw it to him. And the problem is Jerry Jeudy's also trying to work to his spot for his quarterback, and they just don't see each other. You'll see it so much better from this angle. So let's see why the quarterback punches out. They do get a twist game that happens here where we're going here and then we're looping out and around. And I wouldn't say this is a bad pickup between Conklin and Teller. I think Jameis does the exact thing you're supposed to do, which is slide right out of the pocket, because at this point, Teller has to run him, right? He's got to run him out here, and Conklin is getting his man back inside here. So you really just want to slide out and see if you can find an answer. Once you slide out, he has answers, right? It's a great job from Moore. He's open. He sees him eventually. He tries to throw it. Judy is just also doing the right thing, working into open space. We got to complete this. Moral of the story. I think Jameis is definitely throwing this to Moore. I cannot imagine. I guess maybe he is throwing this to Judy and he expects Judy to be drifting inside a little bit more. I can't say with 100% certainty. We'll watch it from the other view, but you would like this to be completed. It's everything you want from pretty much everybody. Let's see if we can figure out what Jameis's head is. I feel like his eyes are back inside. You guys, you guys tell me. It's kind of hard. I could see him going to either of these guys, but I feel like based on the ball's trajectory, he is throwing that to Elijah and Judy. And not that Judy's wrong. He doesn't know where Elijah is. He doesn't know that he's made the identification. And that's just an unfortunate break. And then this is the worst, right? We're watching this from this view, and what I am annoyed about on this play that the Ravens do a great job of heating it up and getting a man free is that there are front side answers. David ends up being a nice answer, and then you have dagger going on where you're clear out and in breaker, and there are answers. But this is a great call from Baltimore. In this scenario, the Browns make a full slide. They say we are going to go here, 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 and David's going to chip and release, and we're going to have an extra guy. Sometimes you'll slide the back across. Sometimes you won't. It depends on what your coverage, your protection wants to do. But the Ravens say we're going to load up. We're going to punch out here, and I think they punch out here. And this is where you get to do these blitz packages that are so fun. Is it's here, here, inside, and then we're going to watch Hamilton loop around late. And I'll give this credit, like on the up top view that we have, you can definitely see this. But when you're down on the field in the TV broadcast show, you couldn't even see Hamilton back there. It's so hard to see. And Jameis is looking to the field side. Actually, you don't. You get a half slide. Okay, so they're saying it looks like they're going to say 4 and 4. They're going to split this 4 and 3. Excuse me. So we're going to half slide left. We don't think Hamilton's a threat, so they're not even treating him as one. And then they're going to half slide here, 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 and then have a back, I think, ready to go for when David takes off inside. So I was wrong on that initial thought because they do turn left and they do have help here and there. And the problem is that 3 over 3, they bring 4 to a 3-man side. And when you bring 4 to a 3-man side, you don't have an answer for that. And that becomes the quarterback has to get it out on time. And I'm not even saying he's not on time, but you can see that this scheme did have open options between Njoku coming into your window here, and then you see Jerry Jeudy's shadow. He is also coming into the picture as well. So bummer that they lose the football on all this. But again, the defense gets paid money too. And when you pay, they call great things at times as well. This is hell. Nobody likes to run offense against A-gap mugs where you can see some guys dropping out. Are they bringing both of these edge guys? Are they punching them out? And then they're bringing him up inside, 3 to the inside. It's like, this is a place you don't like to live. 2nd and 15s, 3rd and 15s, because this sort of stuff can happen. Greg, yeah, not a ton of interior pressure. I do think the guys stepped up and played fairly well. Not Wyatt Teller's best game, but okay. I thought he was okay. This is the 3rd down that they are actually, I think they got the football back, 1st down, like right before the half, and they're just trying to push a out and up down here to the sideline. So bottom of the screen, actually kind of 2 out and up routes, Judy and Tillman, and then see if they can find a deep shot. Otherwise, we're just going to step up and go. This is a look at a twist. You're going to get a twist. But Tonio's ready to embrace it. Not bad from Dawn. This is actually one of their better twist game pickups here on the left side of your screen. It's not bad. Actually, both sides on the Ravens run a twist, and the Browns pick it up okay, right? Just got to finish it. But that's also a tough play. I mean, there's 20 seconds before the half. So, now we're out. 2nd half. What do we got? Boom. Under center, 12 personnel, 2 tight ends. Let's sell run in the backfield, play action, line's going to pass block, and let's just take advantage of holes in coverage. The Ravens are bringing 5, right? You'll see 5 guys in here coming, and if they're playing 5, that means they're playing 3 under, 3 deep. You can see it. So you're going to get a stretch here, middle guy. Let's hook up on these curls and windows. This is pretty simple stuff. Read it out, throw it, catch, complete, 14 yards. Here's a look at it from quarterback view. Boom. Easy. Call it when you get in cover 3. It's going to work out pretty well. Fantastic. 1st and 10. Can run the RPO to the top side, but the numbers aren't good. I don't like throwing that 2-on-1. So we're just going to run split zone to the left. We didn't get much from it. Honestly, it's an interesting wrinkle to run that to the same side. I'm not a fan of this. This one probably needs to be put in the trash. I don't think you're going to get good results. It's too slow. My point is that if everybody is aggressive and downhill blocking doubles to climbing, I think it's got a chance, but this is a run game look for you, and you're running an RPO, and your guys up front are taught on RPO stuff. It's less vertical push and more like shielding because you don't want to get more than a yard downfield. So didn't like this one in particular. It's tough. The way I like RPOs is when you have run boxes that you feel good about running into. Empty with David in a 3-point down here out of I think we got 11 personnel. Yeah, that's Pierre Strong in the slot to the top of the field. So you're running slant flat. This is just stick, traditional stick spacing. So he can run a out route or he can buckle it up. You get a speed out and you usually get an outside release go. Slant flat on the backside. Popular empty staple, just throwing into space. Well done, right? Read it out. Where does the mic go? Oh, he's punching over top. So David, doesn't have to be difficult, man. How we doing up front here? Anybody get beat? Is it clean? Matabike, he is running wide into the backfield. He doesn't really protect his torso. You see Wyatt's got his arm wrapped around him. And Matabike is a special player. So that is a tough assignment. This is fun, though. Well, 3rd and 3. So we're in 11 personnel. That's a tight end Akins bunch. We get a man indicator. Maybe it's not a clear, super clear indicator, but we think we might be getting man based on how they take this guy inside, right? It's not super clear here, but it ends up playing out. I've done that 14 times. I'm so sorry. It ends up playing out perfectly. And then you got to watch Elijah Moore, who does just such a good job of getting to his spot. Really, 2 people do a great job of getting to a spot. And this is why I like these switch releases where you're creating confusion for these guys. Like watch the corner and watch the down corner with who they're taking. The corner's hauling over top. He's in the wrong position. There's nobody for this and this route here. And that is exactly what we want against the man look. And just a great job from Elijah selling inside first. Watches on the right side of your screen here, obviously number 8. Watch him sell inside and then boom, stick that foot, get back to the sideline, and what it does to number 10 there. Man, beautifully done and a great accurate throw on that one. The Browns handled this man coverage stuff really well. Up front, pretty good. A lot of time. Accurate football. There we go. We're moving now. 1st and 10. Back to, it looks like tight end Swaim at the top of the screen. So we're in 11 personnel. This is interesting. I don't know if we're running drive concept over there. I do like this route and catch from Jerry Jeudy against press coverage. So we're going to get him off, use that inside hand, run him past you when you're stopping on your route. Good stuff down here from Jerry to get the separation and a good throw. It does look to me like a variation of drive. Maybe usually drive is more here and here. This is more here and over top of him. I'm not totally sure. This is a different little route wrinkle. It's actually kind of interesting. I think they might be going, you guys probably don't care all too much. I'm probably talking too long about this, but it's something here. I think it might be there, a post, and then another square in behind it. Not Totally sure. Interesting concept. Something they haven't done. Good route from Judy. Good catch. Like all of that. Let's see. Protection wise, everybody's pretty sound. The football is out fast as hell, though, so nothing really matters. But ooh, they did. If they did come back left, if he did work right to left, watch Elijah. Nobody really sees him. No one's really paying attention to him. This is something the Browns can keep doing against these man coverage teams, right? So something to consider. Moving on. Let's keep it rolling. All right, we're going to go toss sweep. We're going to pull anybody? Nope, it's just toss zone, wide zone out of a toss look. Good run. Pretty good from Wyatt, passing that back to Posick right there. Job from Joel, getting across the shade's face. Conklin, not great. It's a tough thing to do going from that block right there, helping Njoku to get some DB like Hamilton. So not great, but we're up inside it, and it's a pretty damn good gain, right? We do need to get that block right there, though. I would against when you got a man coverage player chasing you inside. This is why you like to call these crack blocks, because this guy right here is going to run in there with you no matter what and take himself out of the play. You got to get him blocked, though. I feel like Jerry Jeudy did not want anything to do with that block. Not a big fan of contact, that number 3. 3rd and 1. Quarterback sneak. First down. We don't even talk about it other than great job from Jameis of letting everything push inside and then finding, when you're doing quarterback sneak, find the bubble, right? It's not always going to be right down the middle of the field. You're going to have to sometimes slide a little bit, move a little bit. He does a good job finding the bubble, is over the B gap on that play and picks up a first down. 1st and 10. We are back to 12 personnel with Akins and Njoku. We are going to, there's a little token fake there. Yeah, right. You know, we got man indicators everywhere. We got 4 down. We got guys creeped up the field side, the wide side. We definitely have man indicators. We're going to max protect this sucker for the most part, as most we can. Actually, it's not. They're releasing all 4. No max protection at all. This is something I like. Obviously, there's a flash fake, but under center, just having downfield passing game, when people think you're going to run it, like your run indicators are, hey, when they're in 12 personnel under center, they run 75% of the time. And if they aren't running the football 75% of the time, they're maybe throwing quick game. They throw quick game on 85% of straight drops from under center. No, man, push it vertical. I love this. It's because it's such a tendency breaker for what you've done this year. You're running 4 verticals here. He's extending as he comes out of motion up the sideline, and like throw a back shoulder ball, man. Nobody can cover 85 in that spot. Let him go get it. It's a touchdown. It's beautiful. It's great. It's really great. Doesn't have to be so difficult sometimes. Why? Like, look how much they want to play the run. All of them want to play the run. I mean, that's a hell of a catch. Don't get it twisted. But that's what he does. I mean, that's what he does. Beautiful. We like touchdowns. Again, it's going to be a 2-hour film room, but what the hell, they played well. Great job from the quarterback identifying it. Nobody to play the flat. Quite literally, nobody, because they bring Vinoy off the edge. You just be patient. Pump fake it. Get him in the air. Quarterback coach working on that with these guys, because Watson was struggling with the same thing, man. Like right here, he's not coming after you. He's stopped. He's reading you. Pump fake, then get him out and space. Pump fake that thing, man. Don't throw right into arms. They're reading you too. 2nd and 10. Slant flat over here to the right side. Can't throw it. Slide out of the pocket. I thought this was a catch, guys. I got to be honest. I don't know what the sky cam was looking at. I would like Jameis to get to the backside. He doesn't really do that here. I think he's maybe waiting on Judy to do something, or David. It's kind of a dead play because they covered it so well. They punch out and cover this slant flat really well, which they had not done all day. They've been playing a bunch of man at this point. Jameis just kind of hangs on to this a little too long. But again, I think he punches out and does a really nice job of putting that where it needs to be. And I still think he caught it, man. I don't get that call. I especially don't get the quick, hasty sky judge situation. This is one of the few times, though, where you have Conklin on an island and you have DeWand on an island. And that's pretty good. Pretty good from both. I mean, the Ravens' interior rush is quite soft, but neither here nor there. Yeah, it's tough. That's a tough miss because I definitely think upon seeing that it was a catch. All right, so we are okay. Interesting. Let's see here. So we're getting that. Let me. It looks just like a yeah. They're getting a flood concept to the left side here on 2nd and 10. So we're gonna. I like keeping the tight end. For the record, this is something I'm a fan of. They put the tight end in the backfield because they're throwing, and we'll never have a problem with this. But yeah, we're going to get a whip route here. I think we're going to get the deep corner here, and then I believe we're going to run underneath it. I think this is tough in theory to pull this one off. The Ravens are in that perfect cover three deep, three under coverage. They heat it up a little bit. Let's watch it from behind. Tillman just loses that in the sun because this has a chance. I mean, I think this is the right read, and it has a chance. Tillman just gets a little weird on how he's running after that thing. It's not because it's not that far off. It's not a bad ball. I don't know. I think that play is in the wrong spot. Wasn't that was that play in accordance to? I don't know. That's a weird like that said second down. I'm not sure. Anyway, we're gonna run back this side. Let's see. We're gonna go wide side weak. So we're gonna sell fly sweep, but I like this because we like to run our weak side zone to it. Beautiful stuff up front. The only person struggling, the guy who ends up making the tackle, is 96. You need 79 to get his face across and cut this off on the backside. Everything is right there to get it done. He's just got to finish it right there. He cannot let him beat him across the face. And Tillman, get in there with urgency. Your two guys, you two right here, your two, which is this man and this man, are the ones stopping this from being a ridiculously big run. New players in the organization with Nick, who was out last year. Please see the little details about how close. Look at this alley, man. If he can make this cut right here, and you got Tillman and Jones doing their job, Nick could have had a 100-yard day, folks. Could have had a 100-yard day. All right, back to 11 personnel, wing, Judy in motion. We're going to just duo this up, get downhill, and they did a nice job here. All right, you take care of the runner. Batonio is there for Roquan, runs him past the hole. That's great. Conklin does lose his man last second, but that's okay. You know, those interior runs just get vertical. Just get vertical and get as much as you can. I like 6-yard runs, especially into congestion. Fine with that. It's a good run. 1st and 10, we're going to punch out on play action here. I love this seal the backside stuff. This is so good. 2-man max protect, where what you're trying to do with Tillman is say, hey, we know your guy's going to be in man coverage anyway. Well, let's open up the void and let's give you an opportunity to set a backside if somebody peels back on boot as we work back across. We got that. We're going to clear over the top. We're going to push inside, run a dig across the field with nobody there, because we think we're going to get so much run commitment on this run action where everybody is selling run. Look at everybody committing to the quarterback. Nobody for Judy, who does a great job. Watch him to the high side up here, very top of your screen. Sell that out. So look at that outside jab, head fake. Get inside because you know you want to win inside, because you have to get inside to run a dig. You can't run a dig from being outside. So you got to boom, sell him outside, get him inside, get the hand off of him, and then stem, boom, put that foot in the ground, get flat. It's really good, guys. It's really good. Get a good view of his break right here. Get a really good view of the break right here. Look at that. Snap the inside foot into it. Look at that separation. Honestly, either guy. But the safety is jumping Elijah Moore. So good job by Teller, putting his man on the ground. Pretty good job from Tillman, just doing enough to get back on Hamilton, who comes through at the last second. But that's a good football play, man. Good football play from everybody involved. I think Judy wanted to get in the end zone on that one, but that's a huge play. 20 plus, that's an explosive. We love explosives. Good stuff. There we go. 1st and 10 now. This is just pass, right? This is under center pass action. This is a little flash fake. They say it's actually ironic. They said we're just going to go back to this exact concept we ran earlier, right? Look at this. This look like familiar to the Njoku touchdown. Same personnel grouping and alignment and everything. Verticals, seam. And I know what they said. Last time we ran this, we had this little bender to throw to Judy, and they wanted to come back to it later in the game, and they did in the high red zone. It's open. I think that the thing I would like him to do, at least how I was taught on 4 verticals, is that if we're running 4 verticals against closed coverage, which closed is 1 or 3, single high safety, then we're staying vertical. We're not bending it inside, because if you bend it inside, you give him a chance to recover and you get this close. So let's stay up the numbers on this. Like if they throw it up the numbers, like if Judy's running to this football right here, instead of bending it in here, I think this has a chance. It should have been, I mean, it could have been a touchdown to me. I think maybe Jameis was expecting him to say, I don't know. I think that I would like to know how they feel about that play, because it looks like it could have been an interception, but that play's open. That play should have been a much bigger gain. Pretty good job by DeWand. Left side here. Good stuff. That's really unfortunate, because that should be, in no world should that be even close to an interception. Just run up the numbers, space the field. Should have been a touchdown. Okay, so now we're going to get back into the same formation, just the opposite way, and we're going to run it a little bit here. Let's see what kind of results we get. So we're doing that backside guard pulling for the inside backer, it looks like to me. Teller gets there, and yeah, this is nice, right? We kind of shuffle. This is a great job from Foreman. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Know that you got to get back vertical, though. Yeah, that's good. Good run. Good run on that concept. Here's a good look at it. Great job from the running back, knowing where his guys are blocking. Do not bounce that outside. Why don't they bounce it outside? No, man, we got outside leverage everywhere. The place you have a wall is right here to get back inside. So this is good. Like it. Love it. Good. Good run. Good 5-6 yards. 3rd and 5s. Far superior, my friends, to 3rd and 10s. 3rd and 8s. Love those. We got options. And man, this is so simple. Ravens are so discombobulated. They don't know where to line up. Let's just snap it. They don't know what coverage they're in. Could have thrown it in about 4 different places for a first down. This is really good. Really good. Poor from the Ravens, but really good from the Browns. This is just slant flat, guys, to the bottom side. Nobody defends Tillman. Easy money. Right? I mean, it's not our fault they can't get things communicated. Take advantage of it. Get in the end zone. First NFL touchdown, Cedric Tillman. Good on you, buddy. Good on you. Boom, boom. Vertical, my friend. Break a tackle. Welcome to the NFL end zone. He feels good. Only a couple more drives, I promise. This is an RPO where they can throw to the high side of the field if he wants to. He's kind of reading, what does that safety do? Does the safety come down? He does. And if the safety comes down, now you have a triangle cone of 3 against only 2 blockers, and I'm not throwing that. So we're running to the field. Let's give it to Nick. Let's see if we can create something. You don't get anything. I get why they're doing it, to see if they can take advantage of numbers. Let's see. We're still a 6-man box and a safety kind of threatening. I don't love the run numbers, if I'm being honest, right? Boom. Pretty good. Nick is kind of like, we need this double team right here to climb to these guys. You would like to think these 2 hats take care of these 2 guys. I get what Nick is doing. Sell it, slow play it, but 23 does a good job filling it, and the Posick Batonio tandem doesn't get to him to cut him out of the hole. God, Nick is so good. Like, so good at the little things. Just kind of like giving your guys a chance. Watch him just like right here. Give him a chance. Slow play it. Boom, boom, boom. Can you guys get to 23? Okay, well, we can't. It's all right. 2nd and 10. Flash fake to the back. Yeah, I think my guess here is what he thinks is happening, and this is sort of what you can do, is you can presume a little bit, is that he thinks this safety, who at the time of his throw is flat foot. He's flat foot when he's loading up. Does he think he's going to run under the dig? Because you're getting 2 deep in breakers as options against this cover 3. And he thinks that this is going to be open. I get what he's thinking. I get why he's processing it out that way, especially as pressure's starting to come down into the fold. But yeah, right. Let's see here. So he thinks again, all right, at this point, I'm loading up. I see this safety's flat foot. Think we can launch it over it. I don't think it's a horrible decision. Let me put it that way. Because he has two end breakers. And what he's thinking off of these two end breakers as a quarterback is he's going to cut this one and he's going to cut this end breaker not into the screen yet. Right. So I got this. These two are breaking on that. And I got inside leverage to throw this ball right here. Right. That's what he's thinking. Ravens win the battle. They sell it, they set it up, and they put him into a thing of belief. And I don't think this is a bad play to pursue. Now, this is the first time I've seen a twist on this bottom of right of the screen have no communication. I think Joel tries to get to it, and Matabike is doing a good job of defensive line holding him so he can't get over here to it. But this does get home to create some pressure. And I was watching this earlier. This football actually goes through Jefferson's hands entirely. It actually hits Tillman right in the hands. Like Jefferson never touches it. That's crazy. I mean, I wouldn't expect Tillman to catch that. That's crazy, going through his hands and into Judy's hands. But I just found that kind of funny. All right. So what are we situationally? 3rd and 10 now. Ooh. Ravens are bringing it, man. They are bringing 5 in total because they're punching these two out. Hamilton is wheeling out as well. This is a really deceptive man look here, but maybe zoning it up back here, but they're bringing 2. They're bringing these 5 right here. It is a tough coverage look. This is next level. Let's see what the answer is. Yeah, I get it. This like the route combo isn't good for it. And this is a hell of a blitz pickup. Can we give these guys some credit here? That's really good. They don't get anybody out. They only get 3 guys out in total. So you really have to hope that Moore can make him miss and maybe get upfield and get it. But this is like, I just want to give him credit for 7 men doing a great job picking this up. Could you maybe argue to go to the end breaker at the high side? I think he wants to watch Winston's head. He wants to go to the end break because what he's trying to do is high-low 39 right here. You have a sit right here from Moore. Maybe they should have, in theory, if I go rewind it and show you, maybe they should have run him on more of a pivot and back out because he sits down instead of running in here and getting him to drive on it and then pivoting back out. Maybe you have a chance to pick that up. Watch Moore. He kind of just sits. He's trying to sit to high-low it. So you're like thinking as a quarterback, and he's kind of loading up right here. Can I throw this off the break? But I think he does get concerned about this dropper running under that football, and he hesitates a little. So he goes to this side. So watch his eyes. You see him notice him. See, he's on the right side, and then his head flips. Like, watch, boom. His head notices him right there. Like, he can see it right there. So he decides to come off of it. Something to consider in future stuff. This is just a great job passing off Conklin and Teller and all of them. I mean, to get that thrown is pretty good. I mean, you have 7, you should be able to get a block, but nonetheless, I digress a little bit. 20-17 is the situation now, right? Let's see if we can pick up anything. So we go play action under center, those double curls. Ravens actually do a pretty good job of punching out over both of them. So just throw it down. That's the beautiful part of those check release tight ends. Boom, release. If they drop heavy, check it down. Boom. Lovely. 6 yards. Love 6-yard gains. You know me. That's my theory. Boom. Throw it. Caught. 6 yards. Good. 2nd and 3. Actually, 7 yards. Even better. This fly motion, they like to pair with the run game because it gets these linebackers. Watch these linebackers have to exchange gaps, and people are moving. Pretty good run. Pretty good cutback. Let's see what stops us from maybe getting 5 or 6 and holds us to 3. Pretty good from everybody. Tillman is what I talked to you guys about earlier, kind of inserting up inside. Who stops us from running front side? Teller. Oh, man. This is where 24 would see it. Press it, press it, press it. Hop, hop, hop. He would hop right here. And then he would, once he sees this player cross back over, he's going back right. Like that's the stuff that makes Nick. Not to say Foreman is wrong because he's reading leverage right there, but that's what makes Nick Nick. You don't have anybody for that backside player. That's who kind of blows it up. It's not a bad run from Foreman by any stretch, but like I'm just saying, you'll see Nick do this right here where he knows who's going to be the biggest problem to this. Let me get 96 to sell back this way. And from here, he would then jump cut his way back to the right side. But that's asking a lot because Nick is extremely special football player. 3rd and 1, quarterback sneak. Let's see if he finds the bubble. He goes left this time. He went right the first time. He goes left. DeWand is a little slow, but he gets there, and it's a first down. So find the bubble. 1st and 10, 7 minutes left now. Again, just play action, not run action, play action. Do they go back to it the 3rd time? Oh, they go a little different. Ooh, that's fun, right? They keep they run this exact look 3 times in the game, and they say instead of running curls, which you guys have seen us run this curl, right? So we're running curl, middle release back, flat. We're going to get you guys thinking we're turning in, but we're going to snap off a comeback, and we're going to snap off an in-breaker now to be different routes paired with that look. And look how open separation you get from Elijah Moore at the bottom of the screen. That is a really good schematic change to what they'd been doing. And if you wanted to, I know Teller's kind of getting Matabike as an SOB there. He's trying to block solo, so you are considering that you would have time. But if you can see it the same way I can, if you don't like that comeback left side, quarterback can kind of work left, stay alive, keep his eyes downfield. Maybe Roquan is driving down. You can even throw this with anticipation, but you just have this high-low between Nick and the dig right behind it. But if you like the front side throw to the curl, like that is a hell of a throw. Look at that thing, man, up and down and over. That is a hell of a throw. I mean, that is really great to get that thing over the top and drop it down, because that you got to lift that, and then it's got to get over with trajectory and then get down in time to be there for more. Like that's just really good. It's really good. Out to the 48 now. We're going to run some pin pull. The Ravens kind of win the front side. If you can't handle the front side kick out or turn blocks, as we see here, Vanoy sets a hell of an edge, and I'm going to keep saying it. I have to think the Browns are frustrated with seeing it. Look at this right here. You got to get this block. If 79 can't get this block, I don't know why he keeps hopping inside. He's going to come, my brother, my friend, my guy. You don't have to be outside hopping, but you definitely don't need to be inside hopping, because he is going to read flow. He's going to see flow from these two guys. He's going to come to you. So be patient. Now, DeWan could get some more reps at left tackle and feel this out a little better, but he's the reason this doesn't succeed, because his man, and again, this is the 3rd time this could have been called for holding, or in this case, a face mask, whatever. I'm stunned this official's looking right at it and isn't calling it, because it's, again, a hold. His guy is the reason the play gets blown up. 92, who is a good player, but you have to be able to handle him. And the backside is a problem too. We're not getting to 98, and they're pretty aggressive downhill. But like the problem is at the core, we're getting no alley through here because we're not taking care of that guy. All right. 2nd and 9. Boom. I mean, the Browns are nothing if not predictable, and they're still pretty predictable to me. They like to do some of these things pretty religiously out of these looks. They run stick a lot in this game. You've seen me talk about it multiple times. And to the one-man side with the back to him, I really hope they start coming up with some different variations of this, but they're just running a very elementary concept. It's just slant flat to the left if he wants to go there. If he gets 3 over 3, it has leverage. And what I mean by leverage is David is reading it, he's out. If he were to jump, he would stick and curl it up right here. But if he's inside, boom, throw it. You can throw either of these. Only thing you have to make sure is that for this case, it's not a down corner. If it's a down corner, you have to make sure of not throwing into this. So I like throwing the inside guy. The only guy that would be a nuisance to this is if 14 had his eyes turned inside and saw you right here, right? That would be the only concern. But in this case, it's so simple. It's such an easy read. We need to pick up 10 yards on this, though. David, stay on your feet a little longer. Kind of fall in a little bit, makes that tackle easy. But I mean, I'm picking nits and a pretty successful play, right? 3rd and 1. Let's pick up 3rd and 1s. I don't think they picked this one up. That's a problem. What happened? First of all, just run quarterback sneak. had a bunch of success with it. Why I need to turn and hand this off, right? You got corners and linebackers and edge players condensing naked bootleg. I think they want this one back, and I hope they have an answer moving forward because that's not good enough. You're either sneaking that football with the quarterback you've been successful with, or you're bootlegging off of that because that is a dead play on arrival. You got too much interior pressure and too many guys who are going to be condensing off the edges. So you can't even cut. There's no cut to even make, and you have to rely on an insane amount of interior push. And if you're relying on interior push when these guys are going to be taking out knees at the line of scrimmage and just going low and bulldozing so that this linebacker can get over top, it's not going to work. I don't like that play call. Don't like it. All right, last 10 minutes, I promise. Well, 3-by-1, what do you think they're running? But it is condensed, so it is not what they usually run. This is the big drive, right? The Ravens have gone up 24-23. We got to get a game here. So we get David to the bottom of the screen running an out. He's open. They could try to throw that if they want. The Ravens are running that cover 3 match stuff, pulling him down. They're going to run that safety down over number 3, trying to run an out that direction. I think they get it. I can't see if he catches this or not. It's not the wrong read, the right leverage, all of that. It's a great catch. Gets pushed back. I think he only give him 2 yards. Probably would have liked to seen him get 4 to put it into 2nd and 6. But again, I digress. We are now 2nd and 8. So yeah, it was only 2 yards. And hey, man, you guys tell me, is this anything new? Right? It's stick, so you can curl it up or break out. Automatic out, vertical, slant, flat. We are not rewriting the football world here, right? David's going to curl it up because he doesn't have a linebacker chasing him from the inside. Speed out, vertical, slant, flat. Can Tillman just win inside? He does, and makes a hell of a catch and creates yards after. This is a great individual effort by Cedric Tillman. Catching that in a really congested area, taking a big hit from number 0, one of the best linebackers in the game, also getting hit by him again, punching at the football on the way. Man, that's really good. It's really good, man. That's really good. Yeah, to take that hit, take another hit on the football from Roquan and still get it done. It's really good. Yeah, these are tough. I mean, if you're going to run these sorts of curls against press coverage, this is what the Ravens were doing. They were sending like 5 or 6 the entire last drive. They wanted to send pressure. They wanted to play man coverage, low, high hole, and say, beat us. So if you don't win snapping that off, then that's never going to get complete. They don't call it. There's nothing to call. So you got to win. If you're going to win, you got to win vertical at first and then throw him past you. So again, pressure look on 2nd down now, where they're bringing a deceptive 2 players off the left side that they pick up really well. Great job by Dewan at left tackle on this. Just a great job getting there, taking away the speed corner. So good. Back in there, Nick is patient, meets that guy in the hole, gets him on the ground. The right side 4 over 3, do a great job protecting. And to the high side of the field, we're running verticals with snap offs. So we're running inside benders, and then you're snapping off routes at the sticks. Great route from Judy. We'll see it better on this look here. It's like this left side, right side. So that is great protection. So clean, beautiful, and a good route from Judy to snap that off, come back to the football, and then stick the football out with extra effort to make sure he got that first down. Like that is really good, guys. This is the stuff we've been begging for from everybody. Everyone's doing their job. Everyone's doing their damn job, and that's the fun. Hey, have you seen this route concept before, guys? I don't know if you've seen it. It's called slant flat, and it's called stick. And I don't know why the Ravens couldn't solve it. I mean, it's so easy to throw. Like, we're just going to take these. And I even thought Jameis could have been throwing more to number 2 because they had no intentions of running cover 2. And these guys were inside leverage using the sideline types. Just, I thought there were options to throw to some others, but I don't blame him. I mean, he's getting 6-man pressure, 7-man pressure. Like, they're up and everywhere inside. They're coming off the edges. So getting rid of that is perfectly fine given the situation to get 6-7 yards. There you go. You would try. That was only 3. You would like to get at least 5, but again, only 3. Now we're back to empty. Again, dangerous world being in empty in this scenario, right? And I like what they're trying to do. They're trying to run that same tunnel screen, but I think in this situation, I'm probably going here, here, and then pulling him out for here to run this alley and clean him up. But we got to be more aggressive in. I don't think they're coming to it enough, personally. So I get what they're trying to do and why that should work in theory, but they're not coming to it enough. And they're certainly not being physical enough on the outside. You got to have an answer for this. You cannot have one player for the two most immediate threats. You have to have here, here, and you're coming back to the football on a flat line and then going up inside. I think that I understand why they're calling it. I think their process is pretty sloppy on that. They need to get better at it, was how I would view it. Because I like calling it, but it's too sloppy and too passive. They're not winning the physicality battle out there at all. 3rd and 7. This is great. And again, the Ravens were not trying to confuse you. Yeah, they were punching some guys out, a lineman or two inside, and taking away any quick in answers that are shallow, but they just said, hey man, we're going to defend you with no help. And this was the choice they made. And the Browns just beat it enough. This is not a sneaky route from Elijah Moore. He's like at a 45 and outbreaking. So nothing really tricky about this. It's great that Jameis got it thrown. I think we should have DeWand inside, because usually I'll talk you through this in a moment. This is just a great throw. And again, it's slant flat with spacing. Like, the Browns just kept going to it. I'm going to have to count this up and put it in the newsletter. So this is what I'm going to be talking about. They just kept going back to it, back to it, back to it, back to it. And they finally threw it, right? I was talking to you guys like how many plays ago? Let me see. Right here, I'm like, hey, they should throw to number 2. Number 2 is not, they're playing from deep leverage and nobody's on him. Throw it to number 2 a little bit. They just haven't done it very much. So they come back to it after the screen, pushing through this, and now they're like, all right, well, we'll just throw it to number 2. Get rid of it quick, put it on him, pick up a huge first down, right? It's 3rd down, I believe, on that play. 3rd and 7, because they got 3 yards to Njoku on first down. The tunnel screen was incomplete. This is 3rd and 7. Now, what I would like to do is, if we're going to slide and we have this one, so we got a lot. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We are only going to block 5. If we're going slant flat on the left side, we are not blocking anyone other than our 5. And if we're going to full slide to the throw side, we think we're going to make. So if we're going full slide right, we need everybody to full slide right. Take it here. And then these are the 2 guys from the widest possible angle who are going to be your guys that come free, but we have plenty of time. If you let this guy here get inside, this is where your quarterback can get destroyed. And he almost does. So you got to cut. And this is, again, DeWand, left tackle, first start there in a long time, just getting those details down that they can iron out, because you got to cut that off. You're lucky to get that thrown. But it is a first down. That's great. It's great. It's great, like, booth recognition of, hey, they're going to keep playing man. We're going to keep calling this man beater in this situation. So now you're 1st and 10, just over a minute left, right? I think you get, is there a false start here? Yeah, Teller jumps, his butt lifts. Right. I do think that there's a little bit of shystiness going on there, but whatever. That is an unfortunate one to have, because you're trying to figure out how to kick a field goal at this point. So I think there's like 2 plays left. The 2 biggest plays of the game are going to happen here. So you're going to get, God, is he wide open? I mean, like, the Ravens are not, they're not up mugging like they normally are, but like, as a quarterback and this play caller, they're bringing guys. I'm counting on these 4 are definitely coming, and one of these guys are like, they're heating us up. They're playing man and they're heating us up. You have an answer quick left if you want it. But boy, is this, I have no issue with the throw that's made here. Like, none. This is cover 0 and you got a wide open player. The Ravens just didn't catch the gift. I don't think the Ravens beat them here so much as, like, this was a gift miss. Like, Jameis just has to hit this. He gets great protection. Nick does a great job getting there. Everybody's where they're supposed to be. I mean, DeWand is getting away with some hands to the face, like a serious amount of hands to the face right there. But I mean, as far as protection goes, he just sails it. He's got to let that go. And it's high momentum situation, high energy. You just got to softly drop that over to the right. It's hard. That's a hard thing to do. And he misses it high, and that should have ended the game. Man, the Ravens had a gift, and he dropped it. Very, very, very fortunate in that scenario. But I think, again, from the process, they found the right throw. Right? Just didn't pull it down, didn't give it to him in a place to catch it. Maybe he was expecting him to be a little more vertical. I don't know. I would be curious about that because he throws it pretty upfield, to be honest. Like, not expecting him to be shallow like that. So maybe let me watch Jameis a little. Yeah. So I think there's something that he's expecting him to do. You watch, I'm a big body language believer. And I don't know, these things always tell 100% of the story, but watch Jameis after this play stops and it's dropped. Watch him, like, his hands up here. He's definitely going to talk to Elijah about something. Like, I again think that maybe he doesn't see Hamilton well, because if Elijah is running upfield, it's covered. Like, I think Elijah is right to be flat because there's nobody in front of him, but I don't think Jameis misses it this bad. I definitely think that maybe he believes he's going to be more vertical climbing at an angle instead of flat, more vertical. And that's why the ball is over his head like that. Based on how Jameis is, like, tilting the head, looking at Elijah, going to talk to him. And oh, hey. This is something too. Watch Elijah tap his chest to say, "My bad." The story doesn't get told, right? Perfectly. I think this is the details, man, that you only get from watching it like this. There's definitely something there where Jameis is getting blamed, but I think that there was a miscommunication from Elijah on that play. So there you go. There you go. More to it, guys. Last play. This is the one I broke down. You can watch that video. Again, at this point, you just know the Ravens are heating you up and playing zero coverage everywhere. So just win. Somebody win. Judy wins at the bottom of the screen. If he was going vertical, he's an in-breaker. But, man, Cedric does just a great job right here of, he's the clear out for the dig on the dagger underneath, and we're getting a high low. So what we would be trying to do is, if they were playing a normal form of coverage where they had a hook dropper here, we're high-lowing this player. It's also just beautifully designed to be a man beater because you're getting a shallow and an in-breaker. So if you block it up well, you have a chance. And this is just a great jab and go from Tillman, and they blocked it up well. And it's a touchdown. This is how they bring 6. Look at the linebacker 23, Simpson. 29 is coming off the left side, and this is just so good. Jack does a great job. Like, watch Jack and Wyatt recognize Roquan, right? They do turn 23 free, so somebody need to get him, but he's kind of like slow playing it because he gets confused for a second. And he still would have gotten it off anyway. Dewan does lose his man a little bit late right here. He's got to be better. He will see it right here. 99 OA, I think, does a good job of knocking the hands off, swiping them down as Dewan is kind of just leaning. And that's why he gets, see how his arms get knocked down and then he's falling forward? That's a weakness. It's got to be better with the punch and can't be lazy and passive about just having your hands on him. Be patient with the hands. Anyway, great job getting it off. Great throw, great catch. And that effing stadium was going nuts. Just nuts. So fun to see. End zone view, good pickup. Great job from Wyatt and Jack to have their eyes up to see Roquan trying to come through. And they just perfectly delivered football in that moment. The 2-point play is a bit of a bummer. And I think he'll want to come back to this because look at the back. They're playing man coverage and no one goes with them. They're doing the same thing they kept doing the entire fourth quarter. There's man coverage everywhere. Just throw the back. No one goes with him. He's looking at it. He just doesn't think to go to the back. There's no one there. There's no one on him. Right? So anyway, tries to come back and see if he can work it out with Tim. He just doesn't. I just think Jameis may be too hyped up and didn't process that someone had to run with the running back, and they try to, like, Roquan shuffles with it, but he kind of stops, gets caught up in the muck, right? Had a chance on that. Joel, I think, loses his man here. He goes inside, gets clubbed. So this is a beat, but again, does a good job fighting it, giving him a chance. He stays on. We try to throw it, but that's okay. That's the game. I mean, listen, we're an hour deep into film, 2 hours deep. It's an hour. Oh my God. This is 2 hours of my life to this film. I hope you enjoyed it. There's like 15, 16 of you guys consistently here. That's it. That's all. A lot of film. But shit, that was fun. Enjoyed every minute of it. Check us out tomorrow. We'll have more content up for you, a newsletter in your inbox at 7 a.m. And obviously, we'll have a podcast hot and fresh out the stove ready for you too. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I appreciate you, and hopefully you enjoyed it very much. Until we chat tomorrow, I'll do defense on my own. John Stephenson can't make it, so defense on my own, which is okay. But nonetheless, we'll talk D. Hard to defend Lamar Jackson. We'll get there. Appreciate all of you. Go Browns.